Hey, what is going on, guys? Decided to try something new on the channel. We are going to do a market watch. So for those of you who don't know, I am really involved in the Yu-Gi-Oh market for some reason. I keep up with it pretty actively, so I figured maybe we could try and do a market watch. And if you guys enjoy it, we'll keep doing it. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you enjoyed market watches. But yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go through the front pages of the best-selling cards in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. So Engraver's up to 110. It's kind of what I expected. It'll slowly go up. It's kind of unfortunate that it's not going down as more being pulled and the sets open. So if you have them and you don't want them, I would recommend getting rid of them. This isn't financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. Yeah, I would probably recommend getting rid of your engravers. Same thing with your Mulcharmies. These are going up and up and up. They were 30s before the NAWCQ, and now they're 55. So I would recommend moving these if you have them and you don't intend to use them. We have some White Forest cards, which we're actually going to cover later. Dragon Master Magia is up to 580. I think that's probably where it's going to sit and stay. And this card is going to maintain a price point for the Blue Eyes support that came out a couple days ago. Other than that, Silhouette Rabbit I think is fine at a $10 card. I think that's about where it should be. It's a pretty good card. It's like Skystrike Aries Azalea, where if SP Little Knight gets hit or something like that, which I do doubt it will be, it would probably see an uptick in play. But for right now, it's just kind of like a fine Link 2. Phantom Yubel is down to 40s. I believe this was let's click on this real quick. I think this was it climbed up to 60s or 70s, but it's down to 40s. I think people are afraid that Yubel's going to be hit. Let's see if we can't get back there. I think people are afraid that Yubel's going to be hit, soon-ish because of, all the different things that people are afraid of. So I think it's gone down. Mimical Dungeon surprisingly is holding a decent price for an ultra rare. I would probably look to move these. I don't think Mimikul is going to do much of anything, so that's where I would be. SP Little Knight's only 55. TBT to win this card was $110. It's hard to say. I think this will probably be around $40 to $30 when the tin reprints come out. I think it's been confirmed that it's going to be in the tins. So if you guys have one and know you're going to be buying a lot of tins, I would recommend moving this. I'm honestly thinking about moving mine because I did pre-order a case of tins, but it's still a decent chunk of change. So if you've been using it actively and you feel like you got your money's worth out of it, I'd maybe take the L and hope to pick up a cheaper copy, about $30 when the tins drop. QCRs, I don't even want to touch QCRs from info right now. They're so volatile, it feels like. Fiendsmith Tract is about $10. I think that's where it's going to stay, but it does have the potential to go up. I agree with other market watches. It could easily jump up to 20 or 30 because it is just search a Light Fiend and discard a card. It is essentially just sign-up mining, but for Light Fiends. So for decks that can, have Light Fiends in the main deck, it's great support and it's going to be useful. Dominus Purge I find to be a really undervalued card. I'm probably going to pick these up now that they're about 8s and 7s. But feel free to move them. I think they could go either way. If they don't see a deck that can use them for a while, they're going to stay pretty low. Millennium Ankh 6 is fine. It's stayed at 6 for a long time. I don't think it's going to move very much. Tenpai Dragon Genroku at 5 I think is fine. We saw something very similar with Snake Eye Poplar when it was released. It was only about $15 to $20, and then it kind of stagnated there, way less than we thought it would be. So I would say Genrokus are about where they probably should be. So if you haven't picked yours up yet and you think you want to play Tenpai, I'd say now's a good time to pick them up. Nightmare's Throne's at 30. Again, I think it's a little early to hit the Yubel stuff, but if they would slap something on the wrist, I don't think it's going to be Nightmare Throne, so I think you could look to move these. You could also look to pick these up, either or. Diabell Star, we know this is going to be in the tins, I believe, so its price is dropping because people know it's going to have that reprint. Same thing with Mseti. It was 60 a good bit ago, but now it's down to only 40 because people know it's going to be reprinted. Sangenjen, I believe, is used for the Millennium like engine, which is weird to say, but people were experimenting with that, and that is $2. So that's whatever. And then Chaos Angel, the original secrets are 35s. We know that Sayak is getting reprinted. This is probably going to be a prismatic secret rare. It already has an ultimate rare, so I would say if you have the secret, I'd consider moving it, if especially if it's a card you're not using a lot. But that is the front page of the best selling. So let's get on into the cards that I think I wanted to look at. So up first is just Valiant Smashers in general. So Valiant Smashers is a very low valued set. I remember when you could get a box of Valiant Smashers for like 30s. Yeah, yeah, you could pick them up for 50s. There were people just begging to get rid of Valiant Smashers, but now there's a lot of cards in this set that are actually pretty valuable. There's only one Ultra, I think, that isn't worth the value of a pack. Actually pull that up here. Yeah, it's Centurion Nth 6, I think that is. That's not worth it, but if you pull the Combined Creation, that's about the value of a pack. Skelta and Agothological Voice for Valmonicas are 10s. Centurion Legatia is a 10, Anguish and Bone Party are 20, Trudea is another 20, Emblema, Oath, and Primera are 30s. So yeah, I think that it's not confirmed that Valiant Smashers is going to be in the tins, and honestly, I don't think it will be. So I would say, maybe consider moving your Centurion Ultras. I would say if you're not going to play this, just move it. I don't think it's going to... Or maybe you could hold it. You could move it now. You could wait and see if it does get reprinted. It's not confirmed, but it could be. But either way, I think these cards are holding a lot of value, and they're probably not primed to get a reprint. So I'd say you could hold them and see, and when the tins come out, if they get reprinted or not. Next is Brilliant Fusion. I talked with a lot of people, and we're all kind of agreed that Brilliant Fusion is probably a card that can come back. It's probably not going to break the game with Gimmick Puppet FTK and all the different like Tenpai shenanigans and the Fiendsmith boards. Brilliant Fusion probably wouldn't break the bank. In terms of cards to get, I would say that probably Secret Rare Brilliant Fusions, so your money card. Obviously Ultimate Rares are only $20, so if you want one ulti to play Gem Knights with, you could pick it up, but I'm guessing most people who like Gem Knights probably already have it. So I think Secret Rare Brilliant Fusions are probably primed to go the most terminal. Same thing with Glow Bolt. This is a card that probably could come back. I think it did come back on an OCG list recently. Ultra Rares, or not Ultras, Ultimate Rares are about 60, anywhere from 40 to 60. A little bit expensive, but you can still pick up Structured Deck Commons for $1. So I would pick up one. I have a single copy just in case it does come back and it's playable in a deck. I don't think it will be. The best thing you can do with this is dump it to the graveyard off of Diabolantis, the Mimicking Mantis. And you could always do that with Feldran, Soul Drampa. It's a dragon and a pineapple. It just comes back. So, yeah, I don't think there's much that it's going to do, but it could come back, so maybe keep your eyes on it. Zodiac cards are something very similar. I think that the Zodiac cards, especially Trident and Barrage, are kind of primed to come back. I don't think they're going to do much of anything as long as Broad Bull stays locked away, but as you can see, Secret Rare Tridents are only $1. Ultra Rare Tiger Mortars are $1. Ultra Rare Thoroughblades are $1. I think you can really pick up a lot of the higher rarity Zodiac stuff for pretty cheap. And this is a deck that's always going to have some amount of experimentation just because of what it can do, either with Trident or Borbo into Zeus lines. And finally, Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. This is a card that everyone is always speculating on. I personally don't want it to come back, but a lot of people do agree that this card could probably see some play and see it come back. It's only about $8 for both printings, I think. Yeah, $8 to $10 for both printings. They're both secret rares. I would just get the OG Extreme Forces. But if this gets reprinted, it's probably going to come out in either Quarter Century Bonanza, or if this comes out off the ban list, it's probably going to be in like the Quarter Century Bonanza. Then we have 6 Sam cards. Shien is one that I think does see play in the new variant of the deck. These cards aren't going to come out for a while, and the hype has kind of died down around them, so I think this is a great time to pick them up. You can say secret or Shians are only about $7, and I think this is where you could really make some money off of picking these up. I don't think that picking up the Ultimate Rares or the Storm of Ragnarok Ultras or the Yellow Pack Supers are really worth much. So I would say if you're going to pick up an Ultra from Storm of Ragnarok, just go ahead and pick up a secret from Spirit Warriors. Then we have Keyzon. This card is used, I believe, in the deck. Yeah, if you control a 6 Samurai other than this card, you can special it. It's just an extra body that you can use for synchro climbing and link plays. The commons are only about $2. So these have died down. If you want to talk about a card that Shinai and Mizuho, I believe, were played around with, they're pretty cheap. $2 for the super rares from Spirit Warriors, 50 cents for the commons from Storm of Ragnarok, so I wouldn't worry about picking those up. Kizaru has died down, so it did spike up to about $30. It's back to about 15. So if you are interested in playing 6 Samurai when the support comes out, I would recommend picking up your Kizarus now. Same thing with your Hatsumes. These haven't come down nearly as much. They went from about 5s to 20s, and now they're back down to 10s. So again, you can pick these up. I don't think you need a ton of them, so luckily it's not going to be that bad. But yeah, I would recommend going ahead and picking these up if you are interested in 6 Sams. I'm personally not, but whatever. A card that I always like to keep on my radar is Thunder King Rai-Oh. This is a card that doesn't always see meta play, but is always just in the back of people's minds for Time Wizard formats. I think this is going to see a drop in price because Konami is not going to be doing Tengu Plant for Time Wizard events, I believe, at YCS's anymore. You can see that the commons from Raw Yellow Mega Pack light plays are about $5, and $5 to $7. I think that these are going to see a small downtick in terms of price, but they always hold price. The only way this is going to drop in price is if this is in Quarter Century Bonanza, which it could be as a QCR. I think that wouldn't be the worst idea. I think the ulti is, the secret is about $50, and the ulti, or there isn't an ulti. Or is there an ulti? I forget. Thunder King Rai-Oh. Yeah, there's an ulti. The ulti is about $200, 180 to 200. So this could see a downfall. So if you have ultis, I'd maybe recommend moving them. I could see them as a QCR. But these will probably hold a good bit of value, so I wouldn't be too afraid. Like I said earlier, I think Whitewoods is a good talking point. So basically everything up until the secrets, so including the ultra rares and the secret synchro monster, none of these matter. They're all pennies or dollars, and you only need one of each of these. You don't need a ton of tails. The real money cards are LZ and Estelar, which I was actually lucky enough to pull a Quarter Century LZ not too long ago. Very pretty card. But yeah, so LZ and Estelar, it used to be Estelar was 30 and LZ was 20. They have flipped because LZ is better in the runic builds, which Joshua Schmidt took to the EU WCQ, and this card shot up. So now this is 30 and Estelar is 20. I would recommend picking up Estelars now. I think that these cards have a lot of potential, especially if Snake Eyes, Yubel, Tenpai, they all get hit. These are definitely going to come out unscathed, so these could see a big uptick in play. So I would recommend picking up your White Forest cards now. Another card that I would recommend maybe offloading now is Sage with Eyes of Blue. So this card is a 1 card with a new Blue Eye support, the Spirit with Eyes of Blue Link monster. This card simply, you normal it, you can grab any level 1 light tuner from your deck. That doesn't have to be a Blue Eyes card, so you can grab some very interesting things. Notably, you can grab actually Chain Resonator, which might be an interesting question. Why would you grab this? It's a light and it's a fiend. So what you do is you go normal this, grab Chain Resonator, link it off for the new Link 1, grab Mausoleum. Mausoleum lets you normal any level 1 light tuner monster, so you normal the Chain Resonator, and you can do full Fiendsmith combo. You can see these are already pretty expensive. The cheapest one is the Battles of Legend Chapter 1 Silver Letter Rare, and that is still about $4. So I would recommend moving these now and then picking them up later when the hype dies down, because those cards aren't coming out for a while. Last thing I wanted to touch on was some Edison buyouts. So it seems like Glad Bees have had an uptick in play. So I want to just look at some of the Glad Bees stuff. So looks like Quarries aren't doing too terrible. Looks like the Turbo Pack 5 super rares are about $20, but the secret rares are still about $3, so not bad. War Chariots, the Legendary Collection 2 secret rares are up to about $10. Looks like they've had an uptick in sales over the past couple months, but not too much. The big card here, though, is Ready Ari. I think the only reason this card is getting bought out is because it is a solo print from its core set was a secret rare solo print, and then has a Turbo Pack 3 rare print. So it's just very few printings, very unaccessible. Its effect isn't that amazing. If it's specialed, you banish a card from your opponent's graveyard. DD Crow's good, but I don't think it's that good for Glad Beast. So again, it's maybe a one of, but if you have these, especially if you've been playing for a long time and you have Turbo Pack 3 bulk, maybe go ahead and look for these and try and move them. And the last card is one that my friend Will turned me on to. He told me about Hedge card, specifically the Legendary Collection 5D's Hedge card. Again, this is used for Gladiator Beasts. The point is, when your opponent attacks, you have the attack of the monster, so it can be a defense, and then it just can't be destroyed by battle. So it basically is like a better but worse version of Shrink in terms of it always lets your monster survive the attack, but it can't be used offensively. So this has seen an uptick in play, and because of that, its price has gone up. It's gotten bought out to where it's $5. Do I think this is good? No, but I think Edison at this point will play anything just to say something is playable. So that is the market for you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Like I said, if you really enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, do all that. Let me know what else I should go over in market watches if you want to see that. But that is all for me. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.